Hey chicks, let's chat. You know what? If it's one thing I can truly attribute a lot of success to when I look back over my life, besides the obvious, besides God, besides having, family support, I can truly say that I didn't give away a lot of my time to a lot of ignorant men or to a lot of ignorant females. Right? And what I mean by that is, overall, the company that I kept, it was people who at least had a little sense. You know what I'm saying? And if I have to categorize them, I could say that for the most part, it was people who had a lot of sense, right? But if anything, they had a lot of sense, but they made some bad decisions. They were bad decision makers. I say that, right? Now, being a bad decision maker does not make you dumb, because it depends on what you're weighing your options against. Sometimes you may have two bad decisions and you have to pick between the two, right? Either you lose or you lose, right? And sometimes the options that you have may not necessarily be because of anything you did. It's just what you have to choose from, right? That's hypothetical situation, right? But at least people are not fools and bad decision makers, because that's what we have a whole lot going on. And when I sit and think about like some of the conversations that I am privy to and that I just hear going on, I hear so many people spending a lot of time with people who just cannot contribute anything positive to their life. And I truly believe that that is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Just sitting thinking, because the stuff you and your friends or you and your associates sit around and talk about, that stuff gets into you, into your mind, into your heart, into your thought process, into the way you move, into the things that you do, right? So if those conversations are ignorant and negative and illegal and scamming and filthy and ridiculous, don't make no sense, high risk, low rate of increase, if most of your plays are like that, and most of your conversation and the people you around, that's what it is, that's how your life gonna be. That's how your life gonna be. And you're gonna spend a lot of time making stupid decisions because you got a stupid mind frame, because you have stupid conversations with stupid people. And that right there alone will sink your ship. A whole lot of people sitting around having conversations, out talking each other. Ain't now one of y'all read a book in 30 years. But you swear on all your kids, you know what you talking about. It's a whole lot of ignorant movements going on right now. It's a whole lot of ignorant, foolish conversations. Like, you have a 30-minute conversation on something that cannot benefit nobody. Cannot benefit nobody. How do you do that? A whole conversation on just materialistic stuff. I got on this, I paid this, oh, such and such, oh, he bought that from such and such, oh, he took his car to get painted, oh, he did this, oh, he popped off like this, oh, who does that benefit? Them stupid, ignorant conversations like that, who do it benefit? But who do it hurt? You and everybody sitting around listening to it. You and your squad, all y'all, yeah, she went to such and such and got this done, and yeah, girl, she had went all the way over such and such, and yeah, they charged her such and such to get her hair done. Those the only conversations that you can have. Man, don't come around me with that stupid talk. Okay, we can have a dialect over, you know, who did your hair, how much she charged, you know, what if it, okay, cool. But listen, it's gonna end there. We're not gonna keep carrying on about that over and over and over, and that's it. Oh yeah, it's such and such. Oh, she do it for this body. I don't care about certain things like that. So we can't continue to talk about that. We have to have a conversation of substance. At some point, we have to be talking about something that has to do with business, something that has to do with getting more money, something that has to do with the betterment of yourself, something that has to do with, you know, how you can improve yourself physically, what you can do about your emotions. Like, it has to be a conversation had that's beneficial. It's too many conversations going on in different circles that can help absolutely nobody, including yourself. And those conversations will go on for hours. And it's like, how superficial can you be? That as many important things are going on in the world, those are the kind of things that you sit around and talk about. Those are the conversations that you let your kids overhear you talking about. When you could actually be imparting some wisdom, some know-how, some get up and go, some learnable, teachable moments in them. But these the conversations that you having about the different names of the marijuana, the different strands. Okay, well, they gonna go into that field. That okay. But if not, why are we talking about it? Like, it's just like, I don't know. The best thing you can do is get you a squad, get you a tribe, get you a small circle, get you some people that you can really have some conversations of substance, because those are the things that you're gonna think back on. It may be a 3-word something that you remember your friend said, and you act on that, and that changed your life. You think about that before you get ready to do something stupid, and it prevents you from getting in trouble, or it takes you down a different path. The whole problem is the conversations that we're having that are not beneficial to nobody. In fact, if it's not beneficial, then that means it has to be detrimental. It has to be one of the two. And you spend the time with people who have nothing positive to impart into your life, into your spirit. And we sit and watch hours and hours of podcasts, hours and hours of entertainment that perhaps it brought you some joy. If it brought you some kiki, some laughter, that is good for the soul. Yes, great. But if you overly consumed in it, and it's doing nothing to elevate you, baby, you gotta mix it up. You have to mix it up. If all you watch is reality shows, that's a problem. That's a problem. And you may never have seen, you may never see nothing wrong with it, because all your mama did was watch soap operas. All your mama did was watch All My Children, Young and the Restless. Then at night she watched Dynasty, Falcon Crest, you know, all the shows that they watched back in the day. That's all she imparted in herself was stuff like that. Then got on the phone gossiping to her homegirls about the stuff they just watched on TV. Nothing of substance. Nothing that weighs anything. Nothing that you can remember. Oh, but she was right about that. Some people really don't get nothing from the people that's raising them. Nothing of substance. All they was taught was to get over, was the scam, was the street. And guess what? You need to know about the street if you only expect to be in the streets. That's the only time you really need to know anything about that, is that's where you plan to build and live your life. Now, I'm not saying that having some type of street sense is not beneficial, but it's common sense that's really going to be more beneficial to you. You don't plan on building your life in the streets, running the streets, you ain't got to have no street sense, but you always need common sense. But it's just too much irrelevant stuff going on. Like, we living in serious times. Serious times. In every which way, shape, or form. Food high. Gas fluctuates. Rent high. Wages low if you in Florida. You don't get your just due in Florida. I don't care whatever your occupation is, you could go to another state and make more money. So even our rich don't look rich to other people. Houses that's $1 million houses here, don't you can't tell sometimes that's what they are, because they look regular juggler to other people. Like, and here's where you will find some of the most foolish, ignorant statements and conversations and dress codes and hairstyles. And listen, I know my people love different hairstyles, and we love to experiment, I love it. I love the diversity. I love the creativity. I love all of that. But some of the things that we do and that we come up with is really not helpful for us. It's a hindrance to us. And yes, we came up with it out of creativity, but it's so foolish and it looks so foolish that, like, hey, yeah, that was a creative thought, but keep creating. Get past that one. Leave that one there. And I don't even mean to be like a buzz killer or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like the bearer of bad news. Nah, but I just like to talk about the things that I see that, like, it's weird, it's crazy, it's a detriment to us and to us as a people. Because it's so much positive to us. It's so much wonder and beautifulness to us as a people. And to see us dwell on all the negative and to see us, you know, uplift the foolish and bask in the ignorant. It's like, man, like, no, this ain't why listen, our ancestors ain't down on them ships for that. They didn't put up with what the master had going on. They didn't take them latches for us to move around and to show up how we showing up today. It's a sad occasion in many ways. And that's not to take nothing from everybody who is doing positive things. Salute to y'all. Everybody who is trying, who they have positive tribes. They speak life. You know, they're creative and their creativity is for the betterment of the community, of the society. You know what I'm saying? Like, they actually add to it. They bring something to the table that any and everybody could eat off of, any and everybody could benefit off of. That's never to slight those people who doing that, because listen, that's what we should be doing in this life while we here. We should be imparting, you know, knowledge and wisdom and guidance and leaving something that the younger generation can grab a hold of and make something out of, do something with, ponder on, think about, roll the dice with, you know. We should be giving them something that they could work with, and not all the foolishness that they can't do nothing with. Be mindful of your company. Be mindful of your tribe. Be mindful of the conversations that you hear your nieces and your nephews and your children having. And when you hear them having conversations that are foolish, like, they should be having conversations that, you know, are on a child's level. But even within that, even within those conversations, when they get too petty, too materialistic, too something that just is not beneficial to them, you need to interact. You need to, you know, get in the midst of that. Interrupt those conversations that you see aren't going anywhere. Because they start as children, but then they will continue to manifest and continue to get worse as they go into adolescence, and then as they become adults. Children who talk about foolishness can become adults who talk about even more foolishness. Right? So we have to be, we really have to get into that. We got to look at their phone conversations, look at their text message, look at what they're talking about, who they talking to. Just be mindful of their tribe, be mindful of your tribe.